Hello everyone, it is time for a new video, and today I'm going to be talking about my magical readathon TBR. If you somehow don't know, this is a readathon hosted by G from the Book Roast, and it's been happening for quite a few years, and there's always like two within the year, one in the spring, one in the fall. And this year it's happening in September, and I'm so excited because basically the way that it works, just in a very brief summary, if you participate both times, there's basically classes. You choose a career, you choose a magical career for a character that you create, and you start in the spring with, like some of the classes. Each class corresponds to a reading prompt. And then in the fall, you basically do the same classes, but this time you need to kind of do a few more prompts because you need more prompts for some of the classes. In the first one, it's just one book per prompt, if that makes sense. And so I'm so ready because this time I participated in the spring, had a great time as always, and I want to go hard this September. So it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge because I will be busier than I was usually the times before, and my family's gonna visit and whatnot, but I want to get started early. Let's just jump straight into it. So I have the prompts in my notes app. I'm not gonna go through like the details of what career it is, what like the classes are and whatever. I'll talk about it when I vlog. First prompt is a book that will make you emotional. So this one I was really struggling with because I want to set a challenge for myself to mainly read just fantasy books. It doesn't matter if it's actual fantasy or urban fantasy, paranormal, whatever, but I want it to be in that realm. And the first thoughts that I had were contemporary romances because usually those are the most emotional things that I read. But the one that I came up with, I think could work, is If Tomorrow Doesn't Come by Jen St. Jude. And I've had this for a while and I really think I'm gonna enjoy this, but I just have not picked it up because I don't really know what to expect. I'm pretty sure I've never read anything from this author, and I tend to mainly read books by authors I already love. But one of my goals for this year was to find more new to me authors that I love, and I just really think this book is gonna be cool. So the first blurb here says, an electric urgent miracle of a book that asks what and who we dare to live for. So the description here says, on the morning Avery Byrne plans to end her life, the world discovers there are only 9 days left to live. An asteroid is headed for Earth and no one can stop it. So obviously this is going to be very emotional. I have no idea what to expect when it comes to like the end of the world stuff and how that's going to work, but I think that it's like the message and the tone is going to be really impactful, and I'm just really curious to see how it goes. So I definitely want to pick this up. So I actually don't know how to classify this genre, but it's definitely not a normal contemporary book. So then there is a prompt to use a random emoji generator. So I found something random on Google, and this is kind of what I clicked on first. So I don't know if I should use that because you didn't see me click on it. I just wanted to see how it works. And I chose to put in 7 emojis because I felt like that just could give me enough to work with. But let's try this again. Maybe if it's gonna do something better. What the hell is that? Okay, that looks very weird. There's also like 2 of the same. Is that a cow? Okay, let's try one more and then we'll see what could happen. I don't know if this is breaking the rules. Okay, that, I don't know, I feel like the first one was the best one, and I guess that was the first one, so even if you didn't see me click on it. But I'm not sure what to choose for that. Honestly, I don't know if it's like, I guess you can do kind of whatever you want with this, and my first instinct is to go based on the cover. And for this one, it does kind of have some of the colors. Wait, I just realized this is perfect. Oh my god. So not only does this have like the purple pink color scheme of this, but I'm pretty sure that this thing here is like the Gemini sign, which is like, you know, twins. And this series is about twins. So that actually is absolutely perfect. I hope I'm actually right. And Gemini is my sign, but I don't really remember the symbols. So I'm gonna have to double check that. But I think it couldn't be anything else, right? So this is a sequel. It's the second book in this series, but I've been wanting to finish it for ages. I think I'm gonna love it. And look at how beautiful this cover is. Like, I'm absolutely obsessed. And so I would really love to read this. It is kind of long. It's the longest one in the series, but I actually really loved the first book and I thought it was a really solid fantasy book and I would like to talk about it more. So I think I would love to read this and it fits the emojis. So I think this is gonna be happening. So next there is prequel, and this one I do not have the answer to this yet. I didn't know where to start. I definitely don't own a physical book that would be a prequel, and I have no ideas. So I'm gonna have to look this up, so we'll figure it out again when I vlog in the actual month of the readathon. The next one is a 5-star prediction. So this was difficult, but I always, for any readathon, I kind of have books in mind based on the vibe, and then I kind of try to make them work for the prompts as opposed to using prompts to find books. So honestly, any of these could work, but I think the one that is most perfect for this, that I don't think I need for any other prompt, is The Undermining of Twyla and Frank by Megan Bannon. The first book in this series was one of my all-time favorites and I loved it so much, and this is one of my most anticipated releases of this year or ever, to be honest. And so it is absolutely a 5-star prediction. I think I'm gonna adore this. I can't wait to read it and I just need to dive in. And this is like a fantasy romance. And I'm pretty sure it's friends to lovers and there's dragons. And they're also like in their 40s or something like that, which I think is really cool because we definitely don't see that in fantasy books. And so I'm super excited for this and I absolutely need an excuse to read it and talk about it. So the next one is favorite author's debut book. So this is the only one that I'm pretty sure I don't have a fantasy book for. I have a contemporary book and I could still look into this because like I guess there could be other options, but this is kind of one of my first thoughts. And the author is Kennedy Ryan, if I'm not mistaken, which I still need to double check. Grip is Kennedy Ryan's debut novel, and it's one that I haven't read. I've read a lot of her other books, absolutely one of my favorite authors. I love her books so much, and so I definitely want to read this. So again, I could change my mind on this, but it is a strong contender. Then we have same letter appears in the title 4 or more times. This was a struggle. I thought it'd be so much easier than it was. None of the books that I thought of worked for it, but I finally found one, and that is The Many Half-Lived Lives of Sam Sylvester by Maya McGregor. This has also been on my TBR for a very long time, and I think I'm gonna love it, and I don't really know what the genre is. I think it's kind of more like an urban fantasy, which I actually do really enjoy, and it's supposed to be like very emotional. I think this is also kind of like about the meaning of life, and I'm pretty sure the letters are S was the first one. There is 4 S's, and I think there's 4 E's or 5 as well, so it definitely works. And so yeah, I know this has non-binary representation and that the main character collects stories of half-lived lives of basically kids who died before they turned 19. So I think this is another very emotional book and I think I'm gonna love it. And I definitely want to read this and also love this cover so much. The next one is randomly generated tarot cards. For that I actually waited to film, so I don't know if this will work, but it was the first thing that came up when I did like a random tarot generator. I guess, I don't know how many I should do. I should have double checked that. But something's telling me 3, so I'm gonna try 3 and we'll see how that goes. So this is what we're working with. Okay, the World. I'm gonna screenshot this. No idea what that means, so I guess I could Google the meanings. I actually love tarot cards, but I have not used them enough times to like know how it works. So let's see what comes up next. The Empress. Ooh, okay. I think this will be another one that I'll have to figure out later. And Strength. Ooh, okay. The World, Empress, and Strength. So based on those vibes, I do really like those vibes, and it looks cool. I don't know what I could do with that, but I'm gonna just mention the 2 books that I pulled up from my shelves that I would like to read that I haven't figured out any other prompts for, and we'll see if those will be able to match. So that is Sinner's Isle by Angela Montoya. This is a YA fantasy book, and someone described it as having Tangled vibes, and there's like a pirate and like I think witches, and I'm very excited for it. So at the end here it says Angela Montoya delivers a spellbinding romantic fantasy infused with high-stakes adventure and dazzling passion in this mesmerizing debut. I also love this cover so much, and again, I want to discover more fantasy books and new authors in that, and I just feel like this could be a fantasy book I absolutely love, and I want that experience. So I would love an excuse to read this. And the other one I've been wanting to read for a while is Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. So this also honestly gives me fall vibes. Or like end of summer fall vibes, which I think is perfect for like the beginning of September. And this one is also very different. I think it is like a historical urban fantasy, if that makes sense. Like it's in a historical setting, and it's not like a fantasy world, but there is magic in it. So one of the main characters has honey magic. She's a honey witch, obviously. It has a sapphic romance, and everyone describes it as being sweet and warm. One of them says that it explores love, loss, and loneliness. Literally nothing that could get me to read a book more. So I really think I'm gonna absolutely love this, and so I would also love an excuse to read this. And I think honestly just the vibes of those tarot cards give me like this vibe a little bit. I think it could work. And last but not least, there is a prompt to read a vampire book. So the first thought I had for this was a recent debut, and that is This Ravenous Fate by Haley Dennings. So this has vampires, a sapphic romance. The first little blurb here says that it's the first book in a decadent fantasy duology set in Jazz Age Harlem, where at night the dance halls come to life and death waits in the dark. Ooh, it's set in 1926, and I'm excited to see how it goes. I definitely think this is absolutely like out of the normal vibe that I go for, but I think I'm going to love this anyway. I think it's gonna be super cool, super fun. And yeah, I would love to read, honestly, just as many vampire books as I can this fall. So I might find more than this as well, even though the rule is to read 1 book per prompt. And I definitely want to try to actually do all the prompts, because usually I tend to read a lot of books, but I don't necessarily meet all the prompts, which is a little bit stupid. Obviously, it's not a big deal, but I would really like to complete it. So we will see how it goes. But again, I'm going to do at least, like, I'm hoping 2 vlogs. We'll see how that goes, but I will vlog. So stay tuned for that, and let me know if you're participating and what your TBR looks like. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I'm of course gonna link G's channel down below. And if you made it this far in the video, leave any kind of magical emojis down below, of course. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'm gonna see you soon in another video. Bye!